Hi, I'm Dr. Eric Westman with Adapt Your Life. This episode is about keto holiday tips. Of course, the best thing to do to stay keto is to avoid the carbs. Of course, that is kind of hard when the carbs come out of the woodwork during the holiday season. You might be at work, you might be at a cocktail party, at a party, a dinner at someone else's house. The best way to stay keto is to avoid the carbs because in some people, for most people, just a little bit of carbs will knock you out of ketosis. So if at all possible, avoid the carbs. Now, you could then, if you can't avoid the carbs, minimize the carbs. Minimize the damage, so to speak, which means you have just a taste. And this comes in handy when you're feeling like you might offend somebody when you're not taking their food, and sadly that is the way it is for a lot of situations. So you take the food and you have just a taste. Just a taste of anything is minimizing the amount of carbs. Remember, it's the amount of carbs, not just the fact that there are carbs. So that a teaspoon of sugar has about 5 grams of carbohydrates. Of course, I don't want you to have sugar, but if you have a teaspoon or a forkful of just about any sort of cake, candy, pie, ice cream, holiday treat, you'll be minimizing the carbs by having just a taste. And then you do get the taste, the flavor, and many people find that just having a forkful or a taste is sufficient to satisfy themselves. Now, early on, if it's your first holiday season, I would avoid the carbs if at all possible, because you're still susceptible to having just a taste, which then means you have the whole, a pie serving or pie for that matter. So if it triggers your hunger to have more, I would say avoidance of the carbs is the best thing to do. Of course, worst case scenario, you just take a holiday. Give yourself permission to eat the carbs, to go off the plan for a day or a meal, and then you get right back on the next day. This is sometimes what you have to do if you're at someone else's home, you're traveling, you're far away, you are unable to bring in your own keto-friendly dishes, so you might give yourself a holiday. But the caution is the holiday can become a holiday week and a holiday month, and I've seen people work really hard to lose weight or achieve certain goals before the holidays and then get to be sucked in to eating carbs for the next 3 or 4 months and backslide a lot. So just be very careful if you do take a holiday that you get right back on the next day. Of course, taking a keto snack or a keto treat with you is another option, and of course the keto bars come in handy for that. You might bring a bar or two when you're out and about, or even at home for a sweet treat. Now, I've been doing this about 20 years, going through this probably my 20th holiday season. And so what I'll do, I've learned to find the most pleasurable sort of treat for me. Now, that may vary for you, it may be very different. But so I get an individually wrapped treat, like a chocolate like this, unwrap it, like you're feeling like you're getting the whole candy bar. It's just a very small bar. And then so I can have 1 or 2 of these treats and feel like I'm satisfied while I watch all these other people just eat way too much over the holidays. Of course, big picture view, you're not going to be gaining the 10, 15 pounds that is typical for most people to gain weight at that degree over the holiday. You're going to be maintaining or losing as you are having these tasty things. So a little tips over the holidays to avoid carbs if you can, minimize them if you can. If you can't beat them, join them, so to speak, where you join for the day, get right back on the plan the next day, or bring a keto snack for yourself if you can. If you're in charge of the holiday, I've heard lots of my patients just come in all excited because they had a totally keto holiday. They prepared the cauliflower substitutions and had different kinds of sweets at the end of the meal, and they said their families loved it. So if you can take the time and effort to make your own meal, keto-fy it, and your family will love it. Again, I'm Dr. Eric Westman for Adapt Your Life. Have a wonderful holiday season.